Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Ah.
And, today we're going to be looking at a watch,
Okay.
a very special watch, I think. And, whether you are a watch enthusiast or you're thinking about maybe buying a new timepiece or you just like to hear about, cool stuff, I think you're going to enjoy this one.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be unpacking a detailed review from Name of Source
Okay.
of the Seiko Prospex 1968 Heritage Diver GMT
Wow, what a mouthful.
66th
Yeah.
anniversary SPB509.
509. So,
That's a long name.
yeah, it is a long name.
Yeah.
But I think that it
It's
is
a mouthful.
warranted in this case because this
Right.
is not just any new
Mhm.
Seiko watch.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of heritage
Generally a story to tell.
and some really cool technology.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to let you kind of take it away from here and set the stage for us a little bit. Yeah. So I think, one of the things that's really cool about this watch is that this year marks the 60th anniversary of Seiko's first dive watch,
Oh, wow.
the 62 MAS.
Yeah.
And, it's really groundbreaking for its time.
Mm-hmm.
And so the SPB 509 that we're looking at today is part of a series of releases that are celebrating that milestone.
So this isn't like a direct reissue of a vintage watch. This is like a modern take on a classic.
Exactly. Yeah. It's an evolution
Okay.
of the Prospex 1968 Heritage Diver GMT models
Yeah.
that they released, I think, a couple of years ago,
Okay.
but with some key upgrades.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So, for instance, the SPB 509 has a water resistance of 300 meters,
300 meters.
which is a huge jump from the previous 200 meters.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, that's serious.
I'm guessing that requires some pretty serious, construction to get to that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So to achieve that, they beefed up the case back, which is basically the back of the watch,
Okay.
and they used a thicker sapphire crystal.
Now, for those who don't know what a sapphire crystal is, you want to...
Yeah, so basically it's, how some watches scratch really easily on the glass?
Right.
Yeah. So sapphire crystal is incredibly strong and scratch resistant.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much like the top tier for watches.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they had to make it thicker for this model so that it can withstand that pressure.
Okay. So we know it can handle the depths.
Yeah.
What about, like, aesthetically,
Yes.
What makes this watch stand out visually?
One of the first things that you'll notice is that the dial has this really cool embossed wave pattern.
Okay.
It kind of looks like, those like little tiny rolling waves
I've seen it.
capture on the surface.
Yeah.
And it's a subtle detail, but it has a really interesting like visual texture.
And this wasn't just like a random design choice
Ooh,
to put waves on the watch.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually a reference to the wave mark emblem that you see on the case back of most of the Prospex divers watches.
Oh.
It was really cool.
Very cool.
The way they tied it back into their heritage.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love when brands do stuff like that, like those little details that kind of connect the past with the present.
Yeah.
And, looking at the photos here, I mean, it really does look nice, and especially against that deep blue dial.
Yes.
And then you have those, crisp white markers and hands that are all loomed up so you can see them in low light.
Right.
Very beautiful watch.
Yeah.
Plus a little touch of gold there on the GMT hand.
Yes. Very classy.
Very classy. So, yeah, very nice aesthetically.
Yeah. Good blend of sporty and sophisticated.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's talk about what makes this watch tick, literally.
Okay.
So the SPB 509 houses the automatic Calibre 6R5T4 movement.
Okay, hold on. For those of us who aren't watch nerds, can we just break that down a little bit?
Yeah, so an automatic movement basically means that the watch winds itself
Okay.
using the natural motion of your wrist as you wear it, so
Yeah.
no batteries.
I got you.
And the Calibre 6R54, that's a specific type of movement that Seiko makes that is known for its reliability and its accuracy.
Gotcha.
And one of the cool things about this movement is that it has a 72-hour power reserve.
So, like, if I take my watch off Friday evening, I can pick it back up Monday morning.
Exactly.
And it'll still be ticking.
Yeah, you don't have to reset the
Yeah.
time or anything.
Nice. Okay, cool.
And then there's also the GMT function, which is, on this particular model, it's called an office GMT.
An office GMT. Now, that's a term I haven't heard before.
Yeah.
See, this is why I love doing these deep dives.
Right.
Like, I
You
learned
about all
all
this.
this cool stuff.
Yeah, it's like a secret language.
It is like a secret language.
Yeah, so
What does that mean, an office GMT?
most people, when they think of GMT watches, they think about, tracking multiple time zones.
Right. Which is great for travel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Frequent flyers and stuff like that. But an office GMT is a little bit different.
Okay.
It's designed for people who maybe work with people in other time zones. So You can easily keep track of their local time without having to do the mental math
Right.
or like consult a world clock or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
So it's really convenient.
Yeah. So instead of like, trying to do time zone math in my head when I'm on a call with someone,
Right.
I can just look at my wrist and be like, okay, yeah, it's, 4 p.m. there. So it's a good time to call.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Very convenient.
Streamlines things, makes things easier.
Makes things easier. Absolutely. And speaking of making things easier,
Yes.
let's talk about a feature that might seem small, but actually makes a big difference in everyday wear.
Okay.
The clasp.
The clasp, yes.
Okay, so clasp talk, not always the most, exciting part of a watch.
Right, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So the clasp on this SPB509 has a 15 millimeter adjustment range.
Okay.
So what that means is that you can fine-tune the fit of the bracelet right there on your wrist.
Okay.
No tools, no trips to the jeweler. Super convenient for everyday wear. And especially if your wrist size tends to fluctuate throughout the day, or if you like to wear it over a wetsuit while diving.
I never even thought about like adjusting a watch for a wetsuit.
Yeah.
But that makes total sense. Your wrist is going to be bigger.
Yeah, you got the neoprene and everything.
Exactly. So no more like fumbling with tiny links or feeling like your watch is cutting off your circulation after a big meal.
Exactly. It's all about comfort and practicality.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so there's one more like really important detail that we need to talk about.
Hear me.
This isn't just any SPB509.
Right.
This is the 60th anniversary edition.
That is correct.
And Seiko is only making 6,000 of these for the whole world.
For the entire world.
Okay, so limited edition factor.
Yes.
I'm always kind of curious about, what makes a brand decide to do a limited edition?
Right.
Is it just like a marketing ploy, or is there more to it than that?
I mean, there are definitely marketing aspects to it,
Yeah.
Creating a sense of exclusivity.
Urgency, making people want to like snap it up before it's gone.
Gotcha.
But it goes beyond that. Oftentimes limited editions really tap in to the history and the heritage of a brand.
Okay.
Like this SPB 509, with the 62 MAS anniversary. And it's a way for Seiko to celebrate its past achievements while showcasing its current watchmaking prowess.
So for someone buying this watch, it's not just about owning a timepiece.
Oh, yeah.
It's like owning a piece of Seiko history.
Exactly.
Okay.
And oftentimes that translates into higher value over time.
Right.
Especially if it becomes like a sought-after collector's item.
Right. So there's like an investment angle to it too.
There is definitely an investment angle for sure.
Okay, cool. Well, of course, we can't talk about investment without talking about price.
Right.
So the SPB 509 clocks in at 1,900 euros.
That's right. Yeah, it's not an insignificant amount of money.
No, a chunk of change.
It is a chunk of change. And, that raises some interesting questions for potential buyers.
Yeah.
Do the features, the limited edition status, the historical connection, the craftsmanship, do all of those things justify that price tag?
Right. And there's no right or wrong answer.
Exactly. It comes down to the individual.
Yeah.
And what they're looking for in a watch.
Absolutely. Some people are, really into the practicality of it. Like, I need this to work for me every day. Other people are like,
It's about the story behind it.
it's about the story. It's a collectible, and it's really interesting how a single object, I think, can hold so much meaning and appeal to different people.
Absolutely.
For very different reasons.
Yeah. I think that's part of what makes watches so cool.
It is. It's way more than just telling time.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's about personal style. It's about appreciating the craftsmanship.
It's a statement.
It's a statement piece. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So we've covered a lot of ground here. I feel like we've talked about the history and the design and the features and even, like its collectible potential.
We did.
But the question is, what do you think?
Right. Would you buy this watch?
Yeah. And
after learning about all this.
After hearing all this stuff, like, is this something that you would put on your wish list?
Like, does it check all the boxes for you?
Yeah. I mean, like you said earlier, there's no right or wrong answer here.
Yeah. It's personal preference.
Yeah. Maybe you're really into the, the limited edition aspect of it, or maybe the technical specs are what really do it for you.
Right.
Or maybe you're more of a vintage watch person and this is, a little too modern for your taste.
Right.
Whatever it is. Hopefully, today's deep dive has given you a new appreciation for the, thought and detail that goes into crafting a watch like this.
It's really remarkable, the artistry and engineering that goes into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you are interested in learning more and, kind of exploring the world of watches further, there's a lot of great resources out there.
Tons.
I mean, Seiko's website is a great place to start.
Definitely.
And there are so many online communities and forums where people just geek out about watches.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Like a whole world.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And the depth of knowledge is incredible. Like people who can tell you everything about a specific movement
I know.
or, the history of a certain model.
Amazing.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's a testament to how passionate people are.
Yeah, it really is. It shows that a watch is so much more than just a tool for telling time.
Absolutely.
It can be a statement piece.
It's a conversation starter.
It's a connection to history.
An investment even.
Yeah, for sure. Well said. All right, well, I think that is going to wrap up our deep dive into the Seiko Prospex SPB509.
Sad to see it go.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on this horological journey. And until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.
And keep diving.
And keep diving.